Right, let's do a video on some banana plants. And to be fair, I struggle with banana plants just due to my soil type, very sandy soil, very quick draining, and this doesn't really hold on to much nutrition. So we'll go through the different types of bananas I'm growing anyway, and we'll probably go into that as we go through the different types. So this is what I'm calling banana corner, and we've got 4 or 5 different species of banana here, all banana relatives. So we'll start right at the back. You can't, well, you can see it, but not so much because let's get to the point. Musa Baju, 3 plants I moved which were more in the middle bed here, and I've moved them right to the back at the beginning of the year, so I did cut a lot of roots. They have been pumping out leaves, but a bit slower than I would normally anticipate. But again, we've had some really warm weather for the last month, but literally no rain, so that's temperatures are right, but the moisture levels aren't. But there's only so much watering I can do. Anyway, so let's have a look. So with Musa Baju at the back, we've got Sycamhensis Bengal Tiger. As we can see, the leaves are sort of folded down, which means they want to drink, basically. I have got a soaker hose in this area that sort of winds around all the bananas, but it's not enough. Needs decent rainfall. I don't really feed the bananas, not a liquid feed anyway. When I at the beginning of the year, I did put some horse manure, chicken manure pellets, and sort of a granular slow release feed. So I think on my soil type, to liquid feed would be a waste of time. It just runs straight through the soil, and the plant wouldn't even have a chance to pick it up, I doubt. But regardless of that, they're still growing anyway, and they're still looking okay. Yeah, so the Musa Sycamhensis, we've got a couple. I did think this was a standard Sycamhensis, but I think it is a Bengal Tiger, same as the bigger one. So if anyone can remember from last year, I bought this one from B&M, and it said it was a Musa acuminata, and obviously it wasn't. But yeah, really good actually, markings on the leaves on this one. Really like them. Probably one of my favourite bananas, to be fair, with the tiger stripes. We've also got the Enset Morellii, so that's not a true banana, that is a relative of the banana, quite close relative. So that is the sort of red version, and then we've also got the Enset Heniba here, which is green with the red vein, and so when these 2 Ensets went in, the red and the green, at the beginning of the season, we were talking basically a stump with a couple of leaves on it, but you know, about a foot stump. So they have filled out, done okay, really, considering overwatered at the beginning of the season and cold, and now underwatered and hot. They've put up with a lot, but still they are growing. So they're over 6 foot now anyway, the 2 Ensets. So they've done okay, not complaining about that. We've got a very small, well, small because it is a dwarf banana. This is dwarf Cavendish. Very red markings on the leaves, quite nice. They do fade out pretty quick, to be fair, to a mottled, but still worth growing if you like your leafy tropical look. So yeah, that's the bananas in that area. We have got a Musella Lasiocarpa here, the golden lotus bananas. This one is again stays in the ground, and I will say the ones we just looked at, apart from the end sets which I bring in, all the other bananas stay in the ground. I say all of them, not the dwarf Cavendish, because they're not hardy at all, but they're easy to dig up and keep as a house plant. But the end sets will be cut back and pretty much dry stored for winter. But yeah, the Musa Bajus are obviously hardy. The Sikanensis are pretty hardy for me here. And going back to the golden lotus banana, this one was left in the ground for the last 2 years and survived, and done quite well, to be fair. So this is probably approaching 4 foot with some reasonably good sized leaves on it. Plenty of pups, and I don't really have any intention of cutting any of these pups off. The main plant is here, and some of the pups are almost as big as the main plant. But again, I don't really need to. I had loads last year and didn't really know what to do with them, to be fair. The ones I did dig up and tried to overwinter in a pot, most of them died, whereas the one in the ground, survived without any issues. So whether that's just me or whether that's the way to go, I don't know. But I would always leave these in the ground. They don't seem to like the disturbance too much, and when they do get grown again in a pot, they seem to struggle. I did have one that did start taking off, and it just for no reason died. So anyway, so yeah, that is another type which will be very nice once it flowers. Might be a few years off that as yet, but yes, getting a reasonable size with that one as well. So a couple of more unusual ones. I've got one over here, and it's only here because I had a bit of a gap in the border and I didn't know what to do with the banana in question. So this one is a Burmese blue. It's not blue in terms of leaves, it's blue as a term of the fruits. The bananas themselves are blue. But what is quite nice about it, and it's only sort of started coming up or showing up as the plant has got a little bit more size to it, is that the stem is sort of bright red. So it is quite distinguishable from a Musa Baju, which would look very similar in the leaf form, and the leaves themselves are, from a small Musa Baju, probably indistinguishable, but just due to the pseudo stem being bright red, that is quite a different look. Right, so coming over here really to the last one that's out in the garden at the moment. So this one is a sort of more of a true tropical banana. It is the Musa Florida, in dappled light at the moment because it's sort of mid-afternoon. It does get a fair bit of light, but not too much. But I did have this in my hothouse, but I found that as it was getting bigger, there's less and less variegation on it. So if anyone doesn't know what the Musa Florida is, it basically is a tropical variegated banana. And when I first got this, I was throwing out a leaf a week, and really sort of decent variegation. But as that was getting bigger, every leaf that was getting bigger and bigger was getting less and less variegation on it. And so I thought, I'll put it outside with the higher, more intense light levels. Hope that should bring out the variegation a bit more. So this leaf was only opening up when I put it out, so that's a couple of weeks ago. So hopefully the new leaf that comes out should have a bit more variegation to it. But that's one that's a bit more niche. That will have to come indoors to be overwintered. But yeah, really stunning banana when the variegation is right and they look good. Right, so that is kind of it for the bananas in the garden. Like I said, I don't go mad with bananas just due to I do have a lot of cannas and other leafy plants with the colocaceae. So and like I say, I do struggle a bit with bananas because the high water levels they need, and on my soil we just don't, it doesn't hold on to the water. I have got another Musa Baju here which is sort of engulfed with the grapevine at the moment. This one was actually ground level this year, not because it died back, because I actually dug out the original Musa Baju that was here and must have left a bit of the corm, so this one's grown up from ground level this year, and with the leaf maybe about 6.5 foot to the tip of that leaf, so that's done okay considering, and probably about 3.5 foot of pseudo stem. Right, so that is the kind of, I have got some more Musa Baju in the front garden, but don't really need to look at them, they're exactly the same as what we've got in the back here. What I will do is finish up with having a quick look in the hothouse, because I've got another Musa Inset Morellii there in a pot, which struggles even more. I don't, again, not really enough water, I don't get around to watering that enough. So let's finish up with an update on some of the bananas I brought maybe a month ago in the hothouse here. So if you remember, I've done a video on Grow Paradise plant haul I brought, so we've got a couple here, and I did stick the plant passport on there, but it's sort of faded out now, you can't really see it, but it is Musa Acuminata Grand Nan. So these were little tiny plug plants when I brought these, and yeah, they're done okay. They're 18 inches tall now, got some pattern on the leaves, looking pretty good. So we bought 2 of them, I think they were literally about £2.50 each, so practically nothing. These ones are more interesting. So this is the again from Grow Paradise, the Siam Ruby. I think these were about £5, and we can see it's now starting to get a bit of colour on the leaves. So these will be pretty much all red leaves when they get a bit bigger. So there's actually, so I bought 2 of them because I've had one of these before. It did sort of die on me as a plug plant, but these ones are done pretty well. Could do with going in a bigger pot now, to be fair. But yeah, I've had these for about a month, and the good thing I suppose about plug plants is a lot of time they are tissue cultured, and I know these ones have been because just how many plants there are in here. The other one there, I think there's 3 bananas in that one, but this one I've actually counted with all the little ones, and there's 6. Yeah, so wood, probably this one's not colouring up quite so quick, but that will be a quite nice banana, I think, when they get a bit bigger. So that's another one that's going to be quite tender, which will have to come indoors for winter. But yeah, that one to watch for next year, let's say. Right, that is just a look at the bananas I'm growing at the moment. I'm sure a lot of your bananas are doing a lot better than mine, but like I say, I think I've explained the reason why that is. I'm not a big waterer. I try and sort of set up my irrigation for ease of use, but I mean, regardless of that, yeah, we've got very sandy soil and very free draining, and yeah, I'd be watering all day every day to get the best out of banana. So I'm not really that fussed. That they are tough plants. They do better when they're moist, but they still grow and still do okay in my garden. Right, so if there's maybe any recommendations of bananas that I'm not growing which you think might be a good choice, and I'm not talking about stuff that all look the same, something a bit different maybe. I'm not really fussed about the end set, getting any more end sets, so I'm not really worried about the Montbéliarde. I mean, I might well buy one in a year or two time if I can get them at the right price, but at the minute they're stupid price, and they're not that much different to a Inset Morelia as far as I'm concerned. I know the colour's different and the leaf shape's a little bit different, but I'm not that fussed about bananas to warrant paying sort of the price tag they've got on them at the moment to justify buying them is not an option for me. So I've got other plants I'd rather invest in. But yeah, anything that maybe, like I say, that I'm not growing, which you would recommend, I'm always up for trying something new. But yeah, like I say, I don't really want something that's sort of indistinguishable from other bananas, something that has got its own sort of look to it. But we'll leave it there, and thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.